Okay, in this video we're going to look at the CF19 laptop dock. Now the reason we look at this and it's so interesting is because these things absolutely cost a fortune. Some range up to the, basically they range in price from anywhere from $400 up to about $1,600 to have a dock to dock your laptop. So we're going to look at it. This one here I bought off eBay, $300, $400, $500, around that range. This one in particular is interesting for anyone who owns a Panasonic Toughbook rugged laptop. The reason being is because it does all platforms. So if you've got a MK1, MK2, MK3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it'll actually do it. I had to look at the specs and go through it quite in depth to find out this dock right here. So I'm just going to do an unboxing real quick. Oh, there's our laptop. Alright, there's bits of box flying everywhere here. Now this particular model does not have the RF, okay? So it does not do the RF, but it does do all of them. So this one here is the 7160-0270. So this one here is compatible with all of them apparently. So this is the reason I bought this one, is because it's compatible with all of them. And here we go here. Docking stations are compatible with CF19 and 18 computers. Different ones are only compatible with Mark III, Mark IV, things along those lines. So this is my dock right here. First thing you might notice is it does not have the RF. Okay, see right here, there's no RF. So basically this is just a dock. You get your USB, you get all the rest on it, you get your key lock, it locks it in, you get your footprint of where you can mount it down to. Okay, but let's flip it over here and actually have a look here on what you're actually going to get. So you got your Cat 5, that's standard, everyone needs that, that's for internet access. You got 3 USB ports, that's great, that's what everybody needs. There is an actual fourth one over on this side here, so that's 4 USBs you got. You got the IO, which is basically a COM port. You got 2 COM ports going here. That's your standard. Let me get this right. RB or R232, I believe it is. Then you've got your monitor display over here. Then moving over here, you have your headphones and microphone, which are these 2 3.5 mil ports right here. And also, if you might notice here, which this caused me a lot of trouble, I wanted to know, does power get applied to this to actually charge my laptop? And yes, it does. DC input 15.6 volts DC, and that goes through this hole here and connects in there. So what I couldn't actually find out is, does it take power? And yes, it does. Now on the back here, it does have a few ports and screw hole things. We have no idea what all those are about, but most of the time when you're mounting this, and you're mounting this in a car or a van, you're going to be using these footprint here. Now these footprint here are about 100 mil apart, and they're done by a square-headed bolt. Okay, so you actually have to get a conversion kit or make it fit if you're doing that. But as far as charging the laptop, yes, it's got power. As far as running your microphone and headphones out, yes, it has it. If you're running COM ports like I do, yes, you have 2 COM ports on this. And if you're running USB, you've got 4. And once again, you've got your Cat on the side. Now this is my laptop. There's a reason I actually use the CF, I think this is CF19 Mark II. And it's an old laptop, CF19 Mark II. The reason I use this, it does run XP, it is old and all the rest, but it does a lot of the programs and does a lot of the older stuff that I want to do, mainly using COM port and things like that. So there's a big reason I actually use this laptop compared with the Mark V and the Mark VI. Yes, I could pay the money, but I like to use the old one. It works perfectly and they're cheap to replace. So looking at the dock here, let's couple these two up. What do they call it, a marriage? Pushing the flap open under here, we should just be able to slide this in here. There's two lugs on the front, if you can see them, one here, which groove into the laptop right there. Then we would need to flip our strap around here, and I'll pop the screen down here, and then what will happen here is we'll pop this open, and then we'll pop this closed. Once they squeeze together, and we can push that down. It's not actually pushing down at the moment, so I'm wondering if we're pushing it onto that port properly. I've got this open. These two ports here are the RF ports, these two little gold ones here, but we don't actually have them on this computer. Well, we do have them on this computer, but we don't really need them because this computer does take a SIM card. It's working on 3G, so it's good enough. Okay, so I'm struggling actually pairing it together here. Okay, so it's not pairing together exactly right. Just going to try resetting it in there, pushing it together. That felt good. Okay, there we go. I've got it locked in. So pairing the device seems to be a little bit harder than other laptop cradles that I have. I did try that other one, which was silver and black, which is worth about $1,500. When I got it, it was a second-hand model and it had issues, so that's why I went out and I purchased this one. This was $400 to $500, but it seemed to be the better choice to do what I wanted it to do, and it was good value. Good value. So now we're actually we should be paired up with our dock, and we should be at 1 with our dock. Okay, that's step 1. We have some instructions here. Let's just have a quick look at them. First thing I notice is we have some keys here. CH751 is the key number. We also have a piece of rubber which is used on this side here, which you can see. That would be used for our power port. We have a couple of pull ties which would be used for our cables and accessories to pull them tight. And we have about 5 or 6 M6, probably M6 bolts, I would say, with the square head there, so that to allow us to bolt to whichever cradle we want. Comes with instructions here. Gamber-Johnson installation instructions, and basically it'll run you through the instructions. It's pretty straightforward. Once you get it docked up, you want to actually run your first things first, run your DC, make your mount, screw it on, put the computer on it, and plug in your serials and your USBs, and you should be ready to go. You should be ready to roll. It shows that little piece of rubber. It shows how to remove this port on the side to attach your 12 volt or your 16 volt there. It tells you about the strap, release the strap so it can hook into the front. It tells you about also optional accessories here which are adjustable. So this accessory goes underneath here. It has a little screw thread so you can adjust this and tilt this depending on what type of stand you're using. You can either adapt it or use their adapter and then go onto your standard adapter, which looks to be on the standard size. I'll probably just make a plate and not worry about that because all this stuff is highly expensive. It also shows you the LED light assembly on the side, and that's pretty much it for the instructions. Now, one thing I must note right here, right now, is that I just tried to put this on there and it didn't really work too well. So let's just try that again. I'm out on the field. I'm going to take my laptop out. Okay, we're out. Now I come back and I want to pair my device. I find my bottom 2 footprints. I squeeze it on. I push this in here. That's really firm to push in right here, right now. I'd like to have some power on it to find out if I'm actually on the money and everything's working, or if I'm just, screwing up that terminal underneath it, which is this one right here. Sorry to bump you. This one right here. Because if we're not putting that in the exact position, we're just going to be shorting them out. So I'd like to really know if my plumping it down here and then pushing it in here and pushing this down really firm is actually good enough, because to me, you know, I've got, when I do those bottom feet, I've got a bit of movement there, you know. Okay, that feels really good. That feels really good. Really firm to push that in there. And then we have our key lock on top of that to lock it into the dock. So look, this dock comes in at about $400 or $500 compared with $1,600 US. If it works, great. I'm not sure how good it is on and off, on and off. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure on how the USB ports and things work out and all the rest. All I'm saying is this dock is a lot cheaper and has all the ports that we need. So it's going to be interesting to look at the Gamber-Johnson CF19 dock for a Panasonic Toughbook, and I'll give it some time. I'm going to try it. I'm going to give you some sort of specs on this. You're looking at about 3 kilo. From here to here, you're looking at about 35. Plastic, hardened plastic, strong plastic, steel, coated steel there. It is a strong, solid dock. Looking at it side on, you know, it is doing what it needs to be doing. So I'm going to be road testing this. I'm going to be putting it in my vehicle, and hopefully it's going to be working well. But for the money, is it better than the other docks at $1,600? It's still yet to be found out. Does it dock well? Well, yes and no. Like, it's not the easiest dock. I tried the other dock, and I actually had the other dock, but it wasn't very good. So I purchased this. Push down, push down. Yeah, it does dock. It does dock. I really need to apply power to it to find out how good and if there's any shorts or if we're, you know, not quite centered. There is a little bit of movement right here. When I release that, I lift this off here, there is a little bit of movement there. You know, you're probably talking 2-3 mil, and that worries me a little bit. Squeeze it together. Really hard to push that down. So yeah, that's basically the dock. If you look at it from that perspective, it looks really good. From this perspective, it looks really good. So on first view, it looks really good. I hope it's going to do what it's meant to do and not mess me around, short my computer, wreck my computer. I hope it's really going to do what it's meant to do, because for a dock, it's bloody expensive. I paid $200 for the computer. I'm paying $500, $450, $500 US for the dock. So I really hope it's going to do what I want it to do. I have good access on the side. I can access this and this. I have my USB port on the side. On this side here, I have my 12 volt power. I also have my computer power. I have all access here, which I'm pretty happy with. Looking at this side here, I have good access here as well. And there is that accessory of the light, and the power is actually some sort of hardwired. So all in all, yeah, I'm fairly happy with it. It's a dock, it's a solid dock, it's rugged. I'm not too sure if it's the type of dock you would want to throw it in and out 10 times a day. I think it's more of the dock that you dock it, you know, once a day type deal. So just because of this part here, when I push this, now when I push that up, squeeze that down. See that? I've got to push it again. Now we're docked. So that's a lot of force right there, unless something's going wrong. But I would be saying that's probably how they've designed it. Really strong lock it in dock. Key lock it off, and it's pretty much bolted in. You can't remove this laptop. This is steel, by the way. You're talking 4mm steel down here, and you're talking 4mm steel bent, curved, milled. Also the rubber feet. If you didn't see them before, there's rubber feet underneath this, so you're going to get less vibration, less squeaks and less rattles. So the overall design, it looks the part. It looks like it will do what it's meant to be doing. Okay, CF19 Mark 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 mobile holder. Thanks for watching.